This is Cruise News Today with Doug Parker.
Here's your cruise news for Thursday, September 22nd. 2 Norwegian Cruise Line drink packages are getting a $10 price hike come the first of the year. For voyages that depart on or after January 1st, the unlimited open bar package will go from $99 to $109 per day. This package includes cocktails, beers, and wines up to $15 in value each, plus soda and other assorted drinks. Now, the Premium Plus beverage package, which includes those higher-end wines and spirits, Starbucks coffee, bottled water, and such, that'll go from $128 to $138 per person per day. The Corks and Caps wine and beer package will stay the same at $65 per person per day. And the soda package, which increased earlier this year from $8 to $10 per person per day, will be staying the same price. And Carnival Cruise Line's new acquisition of Costa Luminosa is now sporting some new colors. On Wednesday, the vessel was officially registered with the Bahamas Maritime Authority. When it sailed as Costa Luminosa, it was registered with Portugal. During a ceremony at the shipyard, Deck Cadet Mart Kaysen and a Bahamian citizen from Freeport raised Luminosa's new Bahamian flag. This November, the ship is scheduled to begin a series of voyages from Brisbane, and then in May, she'll head across the Pacific to spend the summer sail Alaska. And Royal Caribbean blog is reporting that SpaceX's Starlink internet is now up and running on at least one Royal Caribbean ship. A Royal Caribbean blog reader noticed that Independence of the Seas was using the satellite internet service during a sailing this past weekend. Other cruise passengers have noticed new satellite dishes installed on Enchantment of the Seas, Liberty, and Allure of the Seas. Royal Caribbean Group plans to have Starlink rolled out across its entire fleet by the end of the first quarter next year. That includes Royal Caribbean International, Celebrity Cruises, and Silversea Cruises. The new service will bring faster Wi-Fi speeds and better quality for things like video streaming and video calls. And cruise line stocks were down on Wednesday. Carnival Corporation down 7%, 9.71. Royal Caribbean Group down 5.5%, 46.67. And Norwegian down 4%, 14.58. Breaking news in this week's podcast, a review of Norwegian Spirit at cruiseradio.net. I'm Doug Parker with Cruise News Today.
The proceeding was a production of Cruise Radio. For more accurate and dependable updates, subscribe to our YouTube channel or visit cruiseradio.net.
Cruise news time, and you may want to grab a bib for this one because today's news is juicy. Hurricane Fiona continues to cause devastation, knocking out part of a popular cruise dock, and it will certainly impact the ability of cruise ships to stop there over the next few weeks. We've got a cruise ship that's turning 20 years old and another cruise ship that's completing its transformation. A transformational day for another cruise ship. But the juicy story, Royal Caribbean Group suing the new Crystal Cruises over an employee. It's, wait till you hear this. Cruise news and my views. Let's talk about it. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to La Lido Loca. I'm your host, Tony, here with the latest cruise news and views. It is September the 22nd, 2022, a Thursday, and one day before we hit the road, before we jump on a jet plane going to Quebec to board the Holland America Line New Stadendam for a cruise in the Canadian Maritimes. Did I mention Fiona was going to be in the area? I'm completely at a loss right now as to what the next few days is going to be like for me as we chase a storm, possibly. I don't know. First, let's talk cruise news. Let's talk Hurricane Fiona. She damaged the dock in Grand Turk. Fortunately, the main structure of the dock, the concrete structure of the dock, not damaged, but the extensions that allow larger cruise ships to dock damaged. Also, some of the retaining wall at the beach damaged. And unfortunately, right now, there's really no full reporting of the total damage and any timeline as to when they will be repaired. This damage to the dock will knock out larger ships like the Carnival Mardi Gras, the Celebrity Infinity, long ships. It will knock them out from docking in Grand Turk. Carnival Mardi Gras is supposed to go to Grand Turk on September the 29th in just a few days. It will be interesting to see as the damage is assessed over the next few days what the timeline will be so that these larger cruise ships can make regular port stops in Grand Turk. Cruise news story number 2, we have a Carnival cruise ship celebrating its 20th birthday. Put into service in 2002, the Carnival Legend is now 20 years old. It was the second ship in the Spirit class when it came online, and it houses about 2,000 passengers. Carnival Legend last went into dry dock in 2021, where it received the new red, white, and blue livery, matching the color scheme of the Carnival Mardi Gras. It seems to me that the typical life cycle of a cruise ship is around 30 years, sometimes pushing beyond 30 years. So we have this ship built in the early 2000s, now kind of reaching middle age. I was asked recently, does the age of a cruise ship really matter? Does that make you a snob if you care about the age of a cruise ship? I don't think it makes you a cruising snob to care about the age, but there's certainly differences between a ship that was built last year and a ship that was built 20 years ago. Many things have changed. Technology, we didn't have iPhones in 2002. So if you think about the rapid advancement in technology in our everyday lives, well, there's also rapid advancement in technology in cruise ships. And so yes, a new cruise ship built now, vastly different than a cruise ship built 20 years ago. I don't necessarily think it makes you a cruise snob to think about the age, but I do think it will level set your expectations when you know the age of a cruise ship, whether it's going to be crisp and new with the newest technology, or whether it's going to be something that could be a little older. You can level set your expectations. I'll throw the question over to you. Do you ever think about the age of the cruise ship that you're going on, or is it not that big a deal? Leave a comment below. Cruise news story number 3. Let's talk about the Costa Luminosa. Oh, check that. The Carnival Luminosa. If you've been tracking along with this, you know that Carnival received a new cruise ship, a new old cruise ship, from the Costa fleet. The Luminosa has been undergoing a transformation to make it look like the Carnival cruise ships. Two of the big noticeable changes are, of course, the new red, white, and blue hull livery paint scheme, and also the classic Costa funnel, the yellow and blue funnel, has been repainted to Carnival colors. So in addition to the changes that are going on that cruise ship in both the interior and the exterior, there was also a big registration change yesterday. When she was in the Costa fleet, the Luminosa flew the flag of Portugal, but as of yesterday, she has been reflagged, re-registered, now in the Bahamas. There was a flag-raising ceremony yesterday between officers on the Luminosa and locals there in the Bahamas to raise the Bahamian flag. This is a significant step in getting this ship into service for Carnival. She is set to set sail from Brisbane in Australia starting in November. She's looking sweet. Luminosa. Now I gotta tell you about the latest saga in the Crystal Cruises drama, and this time it includes Royal Caribbean Group suing the new Crystal Cruises over an employee, which is some wild stuff. But before I do that, let me quickly invite you to subscribe. If you like staying up to date with everything that's going on in cruising, please consider subscribing with the notification bell on. That way you don't miss out on any of these episodes. Thank you in advance. Let's go on and talk about this juicy, juicy story. So you know the saga of Crystal Cruises. They were owned by Genting. Genting went out of business and the ships were seized. They couldn't pay their bills and the ships went up for sale. And 2 of the ships were bought by this company called Abercrombie and Kent. 2 of the cruise ships. And then Silver Seas, which is part of the Royal Caribbean Group, they bought one of the Crystal ships, the Crystal Endeavor. Now, Abercrombie and Kent wanted all 3 ships to be together so they could relaunch them as the Crystal Cruises brand. Well, that didn't happen. So they couldn't get the Crystal Endeavor ship. However, they got somebody that worked for Silver Seas, and this is where the hubbub is. There's a gentleman, Matthias Silver, who was a higher up in Silver Seas, who shortly after the acquisition of these Crystal ships left Silver Seas, resigned from Silver Seas. Then back in August, it was announced that he had taken a job with the new Crystal Cruises. Now, people leave jobs and get jobs all the time. That's the way the world works. However, Royal Caribbean Group pointed out in their lawsuit that Mr. Silva had a non-compete where he would not work for another luxury line for at least 2 years. They also allege that he downloaded information from Silver Seas, proprietary secret information from Silver Seas, to his personal email account before he left. And so now they're going hard and heavy at Crystal Cruises and their parent company, Abercrombie and Kent. And what's interesting is the guy that's behind Abercrombie and Kent was the guy that started Silver Seas. So it is it's all wrapped up together. Nobody's commenting. Everything is just alleged right now. But the transactional pieces that did happen is the gentleman did work for Silver Seas, and now he has a job for Crystal Cruisers, and that's where the suit is going to go. It will be interesting to see how this plays out. And look, I would be dishonest if I didn't say that this kind of drama really is exciting to me, because it really is an indication that we're beyond the drama that we had a couple years years ago. We're back to the minutia of businesses running businesses, of companies going forward and trying to, capture competitive edge and trying to do things for consumers. So it's an interesting story. Again, it's a juicy one. It will, it's going to be interesting to see where these allegations fall. Let me kick it over to you. I don't think this idea of non-compete is that foreign. I think it happens in a lot of industries. Have you ever had to walk the tightrope between leaving one job and getting another job in the same industry because you'd signed some sort of piece of paper? I don't know if that's a common thing. I've never had that, but those would be interesting stories if you want to share them in the comments below. Thank you so much for checking out today's show. I sure hope you enjoyed it. You could do me a solid and hit the like button. And unfortunately, if you do not hit the like button, I will be forced to punish you. And your punishment will be this. When you go to get your next job, they're not going to give it to you because there's a non-compete in place. Hit the like button. This is Tony for La Lido Loca. Until the next time, we'll see you on the Lido.